We are so excited to be at Kenyon College today to talk about some great events. One huge event that they had here last Friday night with the Snowflake Gala, talk about this partnership and share some exciting totals. So let me start out by introducing you to two amazing ladies, Sally Nelson and Kathy Breckler, who have been connected to Food for the Hungry for many years. I'll never forget sitting in Sally's office at her accounting firm and saying, "Can you please come and help us organize all of our finances?" Was it 1998? Oh my goodness. She's been through so many new exciting initiatives connected to this campaign. And when Kenyon got involved, it just took us to a whole other level. So today is about celebration. So let's go back a little bit in time and talk about how many years Kenyon has been connected to Food for the Hungry.
Well, with the gala, but I think we've been connected in many ways. I mean, throughout my tenure here, and that's been over 40 years, we've had donations at the President's annual holiday gatherings, and our students have had opportunities to give, and so it's been part of, I think Kenyon's been part of it, maybe not in such a big way, but for a number of years. And of course, then since 2011, we started the gala, and we've taken a bigger role in helping this cause that is needed here in our community to help each other here and where we live and gather and connect with each other. And so the first gala was in 2011, and then we had two galas that were non-galas that we did online virtually, and then this is our second year again to start back up and have folks on campus, and it's just great to have everyone here and work together for this worthy cause.
So how does it feel to see the incredible growth of this event?
It's phenomenal. Well, Jerry was there with us when we started at Matt Starr. Jerry and I were at a meeting, and we were wanting to focus. President Georgia Nugent was wanting to focus on bringing folks to the Hill to become more a part of the community, and so we thought this would be a really wonderful opportunity for people to do so. And then Matt thought it would end. My friends, Matt's wife Joanne, and a couple of my other friends were there, and we thought it would be really nice to have a fun party to attend and get dressed up as well. And Jerry was like, yes, I agree. And so that's kind of how it all came together, and Georgia was supportive of it, and we just continued to make it happen.
And your new president, she couldn't be with us today, Dr. Julie Kornfeld, but I bet
Really concerned over the years and looking for every opportunity to meld our communities. This has just been a wonderful, wonderful event to do that, to bring people from all over the county really to campus, to enjoy the beauty of the place, and then to gather annually for this great event. I mean, and you know, to be a part of an event that in many years, maybe this year, accounts for up to a third of our total for Food for the Hungry. That's a really wow event, and it's really been a pleasure to be a part of it. Yeah. It really has been.
It's exciting. We're talking about Kenyon's partnership with Food for the Hungry and also the 2023 Snowflake Gala. And I want to talk about special awards that were given out. I think this makes the night extra special. You started, when you first started the gala, giving out the William A. Stroud Award for Community Service. This year you honored Joe and Chris Mortellero from Mortellero McDonald's. Can you talk about this amazing couple?
Well, yeah, I think I can talk about that. You know,
I think as a teacher in the community for 35 years, there are so few projects involving kids that didn't have Chris and Joe's name attached to them. Yeah. And so to me, this was really special this year.
You know, and when they received the William A. Stroud Award on Friday night, I mean, I think one was struck by their humility and their dedication to personal philanthropy and corporate philanthropy, and how they've passed that on to their son Brian and his family.
Yes.
And it's just a real, it's part of their DNA of the Mortallero family. And I think last year, after we had completed the event and we were starting to think about, where should we look in this community, and we had sort of zeroed in on the Mortalleros, and doggone it if the chamber didn't kind of sneak in there ahead of us with an award, but that didn't deter us. We were going to go ahead because this award has a particular characteristic to it, honoring philanthropy and community service, and that's really, I think, where the Mortalleros live. So it was a great night, and in receiving the award, you could just see their dedication to the community shine through. And it was just a lovely evening all in all. But that wasn't the only award.
No, you announced a new award, the Founders Award. Tell us more about this award and our first recipient, Jerry Scott, who's joining us today.
Yeah, well, there was Jerry said at some point to me in the last week, he says, I was kind of wondering why, I wasn't, in a lot of the meetings leading up. And I couldn't say, well, it was because, we had something up our sleeve. And really, I think the Founders Award grew out of a desire, knowing that this program now has, 12, 13 years behind it, 11 galas, and that, we want to recognize those individuals who have given hours and hours and hours. And for us, that had to start with Jerry, because in recent years, it has become very clear to us that Jerry's vision for the funded clause auction and other things associated with the evening that really produced the dollars needed to be recognized. So he was one of the first people in everybody's minds that we wanted to honor as a founder of this great event, which we hope will go on, ad infinitum. But Jerry, I don't know, were you surprised?
That's putting it kind of mildly. And you were right, Sam, I'm sorry. I was a little put off because I don't check my email absolutely every day because I'm out in the community. And I would get home and find out, there was a meeting at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever it is, and they didn't give me enough notice. And I was kind of down a little bit that I wasn't invited, and I should have realized I was being set up. But it was fantastic. It's hard to catch me without words, but that did. I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking somebody else in the group who I have in mind deserves real acknowledgement. And then about 2/3 of the way through your press, I thought, whoa, that sounds familiar. And then I was taking notes. I just set my pen down. I couldn't do any more.
Yeah, well, Lisa, you ought to tell you, Lisa Mazzari had the pleasure of presenting this award on behalf of Food for the Hungry. You want to talk a little bit about words you had to say about Jerry?
I was just thrilled and honored to be able to present Jerry with that award. He had no clue, and frankly, I was the one kind of getting his calls and wondering why he wasn't getting notification of the meetings. So I felt a little like I was betraying him. But I'm very happy that I was the one that got to do that. And just to see Jerry's humble spirit as he was presented with that award, and for us to be able to share just how much he means to all of us, was such a privilege, and I'm just so thankful that I had that privilege.
Well, Jerry, I remember early on in the planning stages of this event, you said, and I literally wrote it down, this could become the community's premier fundraising event. And it really has come true.
Absolutely. And we are so blessed here in Knox County. I've actually had the privilege, working for the state of Ohio in the Division of Wildlife, and being in all 88 counties, and there is none that compares to Knox County.
You're here.
If people ask me what is so nice about Knox County, I just simply turn and point to Food for the Hungry. It's just that simple. No other explanation is needed, because we are in a unique community, being in the center part of Ohio, but the heart of the people here is just unbelievable. And coming into this Christmas season, the time of giving, it's just self-explanatory what happened in the evening on Friday.
Well, let's talk about last Friday, share our thanks to the many people who helped bring the gala together.
Oh, I got that list. Yeah, I'll let somebody else talk about the committee members, but you know, a fundraising event begins with the people sitting at those tables that are going to raise those paddles and who provide the table sponsorships. And I just like to mention those people because they really were, they were the core of the evening. And they begin with ACS, Knox County Title and Closing, the Breckler Dairy Group, Brenneman Lumber Company, Jane Carlson, Dan Laskin, and Tom Stamp from here in the Kenyon community, the Kenyon Office of Community Partnerships, Knox Community Hospital, Knox County Foundation, two organizations near and dear to my heart, President Kornfeld and Jeff Bowman, Chris and Joe Mortallero, our honorees, of course, sponsored a table. MVNU sponsored a table. We're always so happy to see that partnership continue. Park National Bank, Denise and Mark Ramser, Jan and Ken Reynolds, Ted Schnormeyer, Joanne and Matt, I should say Mayor Matt Starr, and Carolyn and Austin Swallow, who contributed in honor of the Salvation Army. So it was a great night. And then behind the scenes, too many to mention, but I have to mention AVI Food Services at Kenyon, which did a phenomenal job, as usual, in preparing a tremendous meal, making the room look festive. And then who wants to talk about the music?
Oh, well.
We'll pass that around.
There you go. Sally, you go. Yeah.
Yes, the jazz Ted, right, Ted Buer. Beautiful music, wonderful, lively, and just rave reviews. And they've done it more than 1 year, so they're getting to be a regular staple with our crowd.
And Ted is a professor of music here, and so it does continue on with the Kenyon involvement and collaboration, and they really enjoy being here and being part of the celebration, special evening.
And you do need to thank your committee, definitely.
We do.
And I would like to say that with Ted Buer, he goes back a long way, because his dad and his brother, even starting in high school, I was in the band with them. So I have connections to their father and uncle that have been friends for, quite a few years. But the music that comes down is so heartfelt and was so relaxing. It just melded perfectly with the evening.
Yeah, it was. We brought the music back in a big way. Maybe it's the third year, second year?
Initially, we had music, and we had it towards the end of the evening.
Yeah.
And I think time constraints, people have a lot going on, especially at this time of the year. We felt that it wasn't, being received as we had hoped.
Sure.
So bringing it in and having it throughout the night, I think
Yeah,
really
and when
helps.
people came into that beautifully decorated space at the new Lowry Center, they heard Ted's band playing, and we had a big band singer, and it was a dance floor, and a lot of people took advantage of that. And then even through dinner, the pianist from his band, just played wonderful background music. And then, of course, after our awards and the great auction that we had that night, they played for another hour or so, and people stuck around. And it was just altogether a great kickoff to the holiday season. And everybody had to feel so good because we knew we kind of knew for sure that we had gone over the top.
But we're not giving numbers yet.
Oh, I'm not giving any numbers away. But
That's coming. That's coming.
We kind of knew what that number, that target was, and we kind of used that, didn't we, Jerry?
And I think that really helps.
It
I
did.
know we used to have the gala, the week, the Friday before. But I kind of like the way the flow is, and that we know what you've all been able to do throughout the day. So it helps us motivate folks to give and to get to that goal if we still need to. And
Yeah, because who wants to leave that room knowing that, we didn't quite
We
get
need
it
just a little
done?
bit more.
It's a celebration. Yeah, it really
And
truly
it's
is.
a great
such a
night.
signature event. I think we can look forward to more years of unadulterated excitement when this all comes together, from the broadcast to the gala at night. That seems to cap it off so fantastically. But it's actually for the people who are in need. And we are only about 62,000 people in Knox County, but they reach down in their wallets and through their heart gave tremendously.
Yeah.
Well, let's do thank your committee members,
Okay, well,
because
let's do.
you know you have to have some hard workers to put on an event like
We do
this.
indeed. Well, of course, Paula and Sam Baroni, Melissa Boffman Salmon, Louisa Baroni Gant, Will Houston of ABI, yours truly, Lisa Mazzari, Sally Nelson, Andrea Scholes with ABI, Jerry Scott, our dear Tom Stant, and Ryan Summers. Thank you all. I mean, we couldn't do it without being together and working on this. Yeah, as a real team.
And we're ever so slowly trying to recruit the next generation.
I see that.
Scale coordinator.
Having babies.
I see some younger generations in there. Yeah,
I think you're stuck with us for another year or two.
we will take you. Now, one exciting part of the gala is the Fund a Cause auction. I know Jerry mentioned that. Tell us what happened on Friday with our bidders.
Jerry?
Well, again, it's amazing. I want to go back and refresh the very first Fund a Cause we did. And we were trying to get enough money to buy 51 truckloads of food. And in only about 4 to 5 minutes of the ask, there was a young lady in the audience sitting at a dinner table that was bouncing up and down with excitement.
I remember.
She could not contain herself because within 5 minutes we had reached that goal. And she's, look here, look what we were already there. Marcy, it was fun to watch.
We should have charged the
You know, I just want to, like a lot of charity events like this, have an auction. You know, for years it was tables around the room with things that businesses generously donated or gift certificates or this or that. And, you know, people come in and nobody wants to go home without participating. And maybe sometimes they go home with something, well, I didn't really need that. And I think that kind of dawned on all of us. And Jerry had been starting to plant in our ears this concept of a Fund a Cause where people don't go home with anything but a great feeling in their heart that every dollar they were willing to give went to the cause. I think that was a transformational change in this program.
And that's a format we do at the Kenyon Review annual event. Tom Stamp was a big part of that and helping that come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people just, you know, I was sitting there, Jerry handed over the auctioneering duties to his partner in crime, John Ruckman, and I was standing next to him at the podium as John was going down the list, who wants to give $2,000 and what. I mean, I couldn't get over. He started, let's start with services for $2,000. Who will give $2,000? You know, in some years, you know, you may get 1 or 2 at that level.
Yeah.
I'm just jotting down numbers, and I'm getting to like 8, 9, I think there were 10 at that level. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we just raised $20,000 in about 90 seconds.
It's amazing.
And then when we came around to food, we did the same thing at 2,000. And then going all the way down, it was remarkable.
It allows everybody in the community to get involved and vicariously, if nothing else, being able to help others. And that makes a person feel good when you know that you don't know who it is, but you're helping others. And that it just sends everybody home with a great feeling that night.
And every dollar is going to be turned into $4.89 worth of food through the partnership of our local pantries with Mid-Ohio Food Collective. So there is so much power in that Fund a Cause auction. Well, it's time for us to announce some totals. Before we announce the total for the gala, we're going to talk about Dr. Kornfeld's holiday reception for faculty and staff, because you just had that.
We just had it last night, and once again, folks came out and they had a good time celebrating the holidays and the end of the semester. Tomorrow is our last day of exams, and everyone, I think, is getting ready for a bit of a break. Our community members here in Gambier offered and donated $1,210 in monetary contributions and 9 boxes of of canned goods
Wonderful.
and ripe goods. Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right, I don't have a drum, but think drum roll. Drum. Okay, what is the total for the 2023 Kenyon Snowflake Gala?
82,500.
Woo! That is so fantastic. Lisa, as our executive director for Food for the Hungry, what does this total mean to our organization as we are looking to meet the needs of families in this next year?
So all of this comes together and just puts us at that point where we're able to help meet those needs. We're able to help make sure children are being fed, make sure those hot meals are happening. It just gives us the advantage of being able to get those funds out into the hands of all of those on the front lines here in Knox County and make it possible for them to do their job, helping to take care of our neighbors in need.
Well, Austin Swallow, our board president, is here with us. What does this partnership with Kenyon mean for our outreach into 2024?
Well, as Sam has already said, or someone perhaps, Kathy maybe, it's like 1/3 of our total. And that's just amazing. This week is Salvation Army Distribution Week. Next week is Interchurch Distribution Week. And so those dollars get immediately put back into the community. And you see the smiles on those parents' face when they realize that their kids, and every parent, no matter who you are, watches your kid's face when they're opening presents. And the joy that the kid has, and he opens up and he gets a present, and the joy on the parent's face when they realize that even, being a parent is pretty discouraging sometimes if you can't provide. And both Salvation Army and Interchurch help to be able to provide those days of joy. And so immediately the money goes back into the community. But we could not do what we do. And really, we're just the conduit between the giver and the receiver. But even in our hearts, we realize how blessed we are to live in a community, a county like we are, that cares about each other and cares about those that don't have as much, and cares about being able to put a smile on a parent face or a smile on a kid's face, or be able to provide a meal that they couldn't provide otherwise. And so, I'm just thrilled and couldn't be prouder of the place that I live in.
And we get to tell the story. Tell the story of the amazing giving that's happening, our community being strong, and the amazing success stories that are coming out of your generosity. So to see pictures and to see video, especially of the gala, where do we go, Lisa?
The best place to start is right with our Food for the Hungry website, which is foodforthehungrycares.org. And there you will be able to see everything from pictures to videos to even a link where you can go back and watch the entire broadcast. So that is the best place to start. But of course, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram, and all of that can be found right there on our website. And as you mentioned, the pictures, the day after the broadcast, I opened my email to find pictures from one of the organizations that we presented a check to on Friday, showing us what they were packing for the families that they were going to serve. So it just totally puts it all together, and you guys made it possible for us to take that next step. So thank you so much.
And a special thank you to Molly Mickley.
Yes.
Molly was a volunteer photographer, videographer who came out on the day of the gala, and she's done a video and has done many pictures. Yeah. So we'll be sharing that on social media too.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, our campaign actually continues through December 31st, so you can still give. We would love it. Those extra gifts last year allowed us to give out $25,000 in summer grants specifically to fill the gap of kids who were home for the summer and didn't have those school lunches or school breakfasts. So you can still give. How do they do that, Lisa?
So again, the best way is to go to our website, foodforthehungrycares.org. And right there on the website, it gives you an option to donate now. You can donate by card, you can donate by check, you can do a reoccurring donation, anything you want, you can do it right there on our website. We make it very easy for you. And if you are so inclined that you'd just rather see someone in person, stop by WRP CPAs and they'll be happy to take your donation for you as well.
Well, are you ready with this big gala total to announce the new updated 2023 Food for the Hungry total?
I have to use my cheat sheet because I just got the total myself.
Today.
So I am honored to announce that our current total is $289,891.02.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful.
Woo! Well, as I've been talking about Food for the Hungry for weeks now and for years, actually, we've been focusing in on this slogan, which is truly the passion behind everything we do, working together to care for our neighbors. Who wants to take just a comment of what that means to you?
It means all. To be included in Knox County with all our residents. Just to be part and working together for those who are a little less fortunate. We are very blessed.
Well, thank you so much, Kenyon. Thank you for your committee. What an incredible year this has been. Our current total, $289,891.02. Thank you so much. This is Food for the Hungry.